What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Jai Opetaia versus Jordan Thompson, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the IBF and Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, September 30th from the Wembley Arena in Wembley, England, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on DAZN, and to get both fighters' resumes, Jai Opetaia, fighting out of Australia, holds a record of 22 wins with no defeats and 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently not ranked by BoxRec due to inactivity since his last fight was in July of 2022. But he is the current IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world, also holding that Ring Magazine belt for really his best victory of his career. And this gets into some of his best wins, as obviously the win that won him the World Cruiserweight Championship, and that is really the one win that made him the number one cruiserweight, which was that unanimous decision victory over Mairis Briedis. So he defeated Briedis in July of 2022, as I mentioned before, and he looked very, very good in that fight. Was a huge underdog, broke his jaw on that one, showed a lot of heart, and got the job done in front of his home fans. But to list some of his other wins, he has 2 TKO wins over Benjamin Kelleher, taking place in Australia, and he also has a TKO win over former world title challenger in Australia, Mark Flanagan. But to get his opponent's resume, Jordan Thompson fighting out of the United Kingdom, so this fight will be in Jordan Thompson's home turf. He holds a record of 15 wins, no defeats, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked number 17 by BoxRec in the Cruiserweight division. And to list some of his best victories, he has a unanimous decision win over Vasil Dukar, and that fight was very interesting because it was somewhat controversial, because some people think the fight should have been closer, and Thompson did get dropped very bad and was very hurt in the 10th and final round. But to list his most recent victory, he defeated Luke Watkins by TKO in the 6th round. And the reason why he got this IBF world title shot is because he is the current IBF European champion and defended that belt multiple times. So, in my opinion, this fight is pretty easy to predict, in favor of Jai Opetaia. Opetaia is a very, very good fighter, or obviously from what it seemed in his fight against Mairis Briedis. I know that fight happened well over a year ago, and he could have some ring rust going into this fight, I'm going to be honest, because it was such a long layoff. But, I mean, he's obviously, from that fight, a very good fighter, very tricky, powerful southpaw. And I think that Jordan Thompson, when I've watched him fight, I mean, he gets hit quite a bit, and he's got some decent power, but I don't really think that he has anything over Opetaia. I even think Opetaia might have more power than him. And Opetaia is just overall the better fighter from what I've seen and watched of both. Jordan Thompson is just taller than Opetaia, though Jordan Thompson is 6 feet 6 inches tall, whilst Jai Opetaia is 6'2", so there's a pretty big height advantage for Jordan Thompson. But I feel like really throughout this fight, Opetaia should be the one in control and winning this fight. So just to break this fight down round by round, I think the earlier part of this fight really might be Thompson's best work in this one. I think that early on, Thompson might be able to utilize his height a bit and show some angles on Opetaia, might be able to land some straight rights or some 1-2s, obviously at a downward angle, catching Opetaia by surprise a bit. And I think that after 3 rounds, it could be somewhat competitive. I think in the first 3 to 4 rounds could be 38-38, 39-37 maybe in Opetaia's favor. But that's really what I think is going to be it for Thompson's best work. I think as the rounds go on, Opetaia will find more openings, really pave his way into the fight, and really start to land his shots on Jordan Thompson, and ultimately I think he will get a stoppage victory in this one. So like I said before, the first 4 rounds could be pretty competitive, could be pretty close, but then once rounds 5, 6, and 7 roll around, I think Opetaia will start to get more comfortable in there, start to find where he could land his southpaw left hands and right jabs and hooks, and I think that he'll start to land pretty decently on Opetaia. And I don't really think in this one we're going to see one fighter boxing and one fighter going forward. I think it's going to be pretty equal in this one, in some sequences we could see Opetaia going forward. Some we could see Thompson going forward. Because both of these guys aren't necessarily like a pure one-style type fighter. In some fights, they like to go forward a bit. Some fights, they like to be on the back foot a bit. So I don't really think we're going to see a pretty boring fight. I think this fight's going to be fought pretty decently, and will definitely not be a snooze fest at all. So yeah, like I said before, as the middle rounds roll around, Opetaia should be in control of the fight, winning some of those rounds. After 5, could be 48, 47, 49, 46 for Opetaia. After 6 or 7, could be somewhere around 58, 56, 59, 55. And after 7, obviously, it could be like 68, 65, 69, 64 in favor of Opetaia. But then once those later rounds start to roll around, like from rounds 8 through 12, I could see Jordan Thompson starting to lose his pace in the fight and really start to not keep up with Opetaia's work. And I think that he will tire a bit, and I think I could see him getting dropped or hurt or stopped in those later rounds from rounds 8 through 12. I think that Jai Opetaia will start to land more shots on Thompson. Thompson will start to tire a bit. And, I think Opetaia will drop Thompson and ultimately stop him. But in the end, I think it will just go down as a stoppage win, knockout win, whatever. On Opetaia's resume, my prediction is that Jai Opetaia will improve to 23-0 with 18 knockouts. And I think it will happen from rounds 8 through rounds 12. And if you made it this far in the video, comment down below your prediction on this fight. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys go hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. So overall, I believe that Jai Opetaia will remain unbeaten and successfully defend his IBF and Ring Magazine titles, as I think he will defeat Jordan Thompson by stoppage from rounds 8 through rounds 12. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.